In Uganda, cultural institutions and leaders play an important role in influencing behavior and the way of life of people in the communities. It was against this that UNAIDS engaged the King of Buganda as a UN Goodwill Ambassador in 2017 for engaging men as a game changer for prevention initiatives in the Eastern and Southern African region with a specific focus on Buganda region.
It is now my distinct honor and pleasure to confer on you the distinguished honor of UNAIDS Goodwill Ambassador for engaging men to end AIDS in the Buganda Kingdom.
Kabaka was also given an award to engage at least 1 million men to access HIV services as a contribution to the 2030 targets of ending AIDS among men. Building from the success of immunization, fistula and sickle cell campaigns of the Kabaka, Buganda Kingdom initiated advocacy campaigns through kingdom structures and cultural activities like the Kabaka Run, Masaza Cup, Royal Regatta and cultural events to create awareness on HIV.
First of all, the Kabaka being the Goodwill Ambassador, draws attention in the kingdom and in the country. We concentrated on 3 core areas. The first is awareness. The second is attitude. And the third is trust. Because you can make people aware of some situation. You can try to change their attitude. They must trust you.
The Uganda AIDS Indicator Survey regional demarcations indicated Buganda region with the highest HIV prevalence at 10.4%, with the highest numbers recorded particularly in the island districts of Kalangala, Buvuma, Chotera and Wakiso districts. Buvuma Island was among the top 3 high-burden districts nationally in 2014 with a 16.5% HIV prevalence. This prompted the kingdom to launch its male engagement strategy in the fight against the spread of HIV here in 2017 with the King's visit at the island.
Mulundi guno tugenda kwogera ku baami n'abavubuka abalenzi okubeera abasaale mu kulwanyisa okusaasaana kw'akawuka ka siriimu.
The visit attracted confessions from HIV expert clients at the islands who have taken a lead role in inspiring others to enroll on HIV services.
Kukyala kwa Kabaka ne programu eno gy'atambuliddemu nga ateekateeka ng'era akumaakuma abantu okulaba nti tuziyiza oba tukendeeza okusaasaanya akawuka ka mukenenya. Kituyambye nnyo olw'ensonga nti abantu kati bangi bavuddeyo mu mbeera ez'enjawulo, mu mikolo egy'enjawulo ne beekebera. Buli omu n'ategeera embeera ye.
Bwe nneekebeza ne bantegeeza nga bwe ndiki bwe nnina akawuka ka mukenenya. Nange ne nkola ki? Ne ŋŋamba nti kino nteeka okukibuulirako n'abalala.
Abantu okusooka baali batya. Ng'omuntu akwatiddwa akawuka ka mukenenya kimuzibuwalira oba oliawo okuvaayo okwogera ekituufu butya lwanaabeerawo mu bulamu bwe.
They explained a number of strategies laid in seeking male involvement in reducing new infections and increase men's enrollment on ART.
Bwe mba nsomesanga nze expert client, abasajja bano oluusi tetubafuna bulungi. Katwekolemu omulimu ffe ng'abasajja. Tufune guruupu yaffe. Ng'abasajja tugenda kulumba basajja bannaffe. Tubasomeseze eyo.
Bwe twazuulanga omukyala akalina twamuwanga okubudaabudibwa ne tumusaba omulundi omulala ajje n'omwami we bongere okufuna amagezi aganaabayamba okukuza omwana oli mu lubuto nga takwatiddwa kawuka ate nabo bennyini okuyimirirawo nga bali ku ddagala.
Their efforts have led to a great improvement in the number of men going for testing as evidenced by statistics from Buvuma Health Center 4, the biggest health center at the island, and Butolo Health Center 3 at Kamengo in Mawokota County.
So far we have had 526 clients who come here for HIV testing. That is between the month of January to the month of March. But prior to that, in October to December 2021, we had 433 clients who came for HIV testing.
Today, the demand for condoms all over Buvuma is so high that people have known the use and the importance of these condoms, as compared to those times when the king had not come in, where people had a lot of myths about condoms. Men who are on treatment are doing better, they are taking their medication very well, and their suppression is at 90.
Engaging them was a core task for the king under his ambassadorial role, and a number of strategies were laid by the kingdom through the kingdom's well-established structures.
Kabaka's government is headed by the Katikiro, then you have the ministers, you've got the county chiefs, you've got the Gombolola chiefs, you've got the Miruka chiefs, the Batongole in the villages. It is fairly easy to disseminate information and news along that chain.
And one of the strategies that was laid was to train them so that they can be able, when in their lines of office, be able to go and sensitize other people. And the other one was to do massive health camps, and in those, make sure that people come for HIV testing. And indeed, those were very successful at that time.
We have also engaged men working in garages, men working in salons. We have had to visit those places where we think there are more men than women, even fishermen.
During the COVID-19 lockdown, the country recorded a sharp rise in new HIV infections among adolescent girls and young women, especially in Buganda, which were attributed to sexual and gender-based violence. The kingdom responded with a more aggressive campaign, dubbed Men Are Stars, where the Kabaka ordered men to take a lead role in mending efforts to end HIV/AIDS by 2030.
Nawe tubategeeza bulijjo tetujja kuzimba Buganda nga tetuli balamu. N'olwekyo twongera okubakubiriza okwekuuma, okwekebeza n'okwejjanjaba obulwadde bwa siriimu n'endwadde endala.
The campaign has since been amplified through traditional campfires and kingdom-owned radio station CBS and BBS TV.
Obadde okimanyi obulwadde bwa mukenenya businga kwegirisiza wano mu Buganda? Okunoonyereza kulaga nti disitulikiti omuli Kampala, Wakiso, Masaka, Mukono, Kalangala n'Empigi obulwadde bweyongera ddala ng'eggwanga liri ku muggalo. Ffe abawangalira mu disitulikiti zino tusaanye tube basaale mu kaweefube eno nga tulambikibwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka. CBS FM awamu ne banywanyi baffe aba UNAIDS kaweefube wa mukenenya tulina okumulinnya ku nfeete mu mwaka 2030.
The kingdom also prepared branded boards with Kabaka's HIV messages, which were distributed in schools and at all sub-counties across the 18 counties of Buganda.
Oba Kabaka bw'ateekateeka ebipande bino by'olaba bibonye wonna mu ssaza, era tubitimba ku magombolola, ku miruka ate ne ku byalo.
Buno bwe bubaka bwa Ssaabasajja eri mmwe abavubuka, mwekuume mukenenya.
Tukomye obutali bwenkanya, tumalewo obulwadde bwa mukenenya mu Uganda.
Abamu tubeere munyenye mu by'obulamu n'okulwanyisa mukenenya.
Lekera okwekwasa, genda weekebeze.
Kozesa akapiira okwewala okukwatibwa obulwadde bwa mukenenya n'endwadde endala ez'ekikaba.
Ate mmwe abalwadde mwekuumire ku ddagala, mujja kuwangaala.
When I look at that message and when I read it, it is so inspiring because despite the fact that Mengo is a school that collects children of different races, different cultures, different backgrounds, but they all collect in one place, it means that the Kabaka is aiming at ending AIDS not as a regional issue, but an issue countrywide. And the theme is Men for Good Health. We are training young men roughly from senior 1. So this is a good start, a good foundation for the future men of Uganda.
And it starts with us. The moment it clears out of our generation, the rest of the generations will be safe.
The reception and implementation of the King's messages has been attributed to the well-structured flow of information, obedience, and love for the King from his subjects.
Here in Buganda, the structure is already set. When the king sends the message, it reaches us through the Katikiro, then to the Masaza chiefs, to the Gombola chiefs, to the Miruka chiefs, and to the Batongole.
There is no contestation whatsoever in the authority of the Kabaka, in the voice and the directive or guidance that that institution gives to its subjects.
When you seek platform from the church, from any function, you are given priority because you are not carrying your message as Mumioka, but you are carrying the message of the king. And all the subjects of the king wait anxiously and attentively and receive it wholeheartedly, and they implement.
Buganda's hospitable culture has attracted permanent settlement for people from other parts of the country who testified their strong attachment to the king and the impact he has had on their livelihoods.
Atuyambye mu ngeri nyingi kulikwataganye n'ebyobulamu kati ngafa abavubuka ba boda Kamengo atuwadde obupiira obwekuumisi twekuume.
Kabaka doesn't segregate the tribes. That's why you find even in Mengo there, some ministers in his Lukiko are not Baganda, but he welcomes.
The Kabaka and his Luchiko further identified sports as a key vehicle in driving HIV messages to the youths and young men as co-partners under the male engagement strategy.
If you want to touch somebody's hand, you must reach his heart. Today we happen to be in what we call a celebrity-driven generation. You can hardly be in position to impact young people, especially the youth, without sports. So if at all you are going to encounter headlong in the fight against HIV/AIDS, you must go where the youth are. When you take the Rio Kanuriga to these places, they will come in big numbers. When you organize the Masaza tournament, the biggest tournament in East and Central Africa today in terms of numbers, young people will come in big numbers. When you organize the Kabaka's birthday run, the biggest run today in Africa, it is not easy to assemble 80,000 people, most of the majority being young people, at the same time, at 6 a.m. in the morning, in the same place, waiting to be flagged off by His Majesty Kabaka. So when these people come together in these big numbers, it is easy to talk about HIV/AIDS.
As such, the Kabaka Birthday Run has been dedicated to the fight against HIV for the last 3 consecutive years, and the king has constantly reminded his subjects on the threat around the corner. According to the UNAIDS Country Progress Report, the country has registered progress from maltreatment cascade from 66.8% in 2017 to 86% in 2021. The country further registered a 22% decline in new infections between 2017 and 2021 to 54,000. These changes are partly attributed to the HIV male engagement campaign led by the Kabaka together with other HIV-related initiatives and HIV service providers in the country.
Working with the King of Buganda, the Kabaka of Buganda, and his team, we see, new infections reducing. We see AIDS-related deaths reducing. We see HIV stigma reducing. We see more men going out to test for HIV. Through analyzing our data and following the trends, we saw that men were being impacted negatively by HIV and AIDS. And when we did the analysis, what was the main reason? The main reason is related to stigma.
In 2019, the Ministry of Health developed anti-stigma policies and a male engagement strategy, and this year, UNAIDS has embraced the same combination towards attainment of the 2030 targets. During the 2022 Kabaka Birthday Run, UNAIDS Executive Director Winnie Byanyima handed a plaque to the Kabaka for his effectiveness in reaching out to men and young boys in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
empologoma ekwasibwa embule ey'okulwanyisa mukenenya mu Africa.
It is from this basis that UNAIDS is selecting this initiative to be the best practice for engaging men to end AIDS by 2030.